Did that fix it? Hopefully that fixed it. Hopefully I'm there. You guys let me know. It does it every time. Sometimes I forget to fix it before we start. Basically, I don't know why it does it, but I have to go into my settings and change my microphone, save it, and then change it back to where it's supposed to have been and where it was in the first place, and save it again, and it kicks in. Yes, brother, fixed. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the live stream. Look, we've got quite a few people here, but a couple people are commenting. Is that Australia, Sky? Let me know. You an Aussie from Australia down under? AURS Sky. And what's up, TJ? Sorry, man. I was sitting here talking to you and everything, and it does it, man. It screws up. And if I don't remember to go in and fix it before I even start the live stream, I don't even think about it sometimes because it shouldn't do that. But yeah, I sound like a chipmunk and stuff. Makes it interesting. You can't really understand anything I'm saying. I know. I've listened back some of it. Oh, it's RES. It's a clan, a game clan. Oh, okay. What game do you play? What games do you play? Is it like PC games? Probably that's the big thing now. He said yes. LOL. TJ said yes. But my bad. So what basically I was just saying, I'll start again basically. I said live from the Rasta room, it's Friday night. That's what I said. No, I was letting you guys know I'm drinking Dragonberry Bacardi. And you guys probably seen it even if you couldn't understand me, the flavored water. Coconut pineapple flavored water. I always got to shout out what I'm having to drink. And that's what I'm having to drink tonight. He says it's kind of like CSGO, but it's for mobile. It's called Critical Ops. Sounds interesting. I like the mobile stuff better than PC stuff. I mean, I know there's some cool PC stuff out there, but I don't want to sit in front of my computer that long unless I'm editing or something like that, and I have to. So if I play games, I play on my phone. I've got some fun games I like to play on there. So what's up with everybody tonight? I see there's a lot of people here, not a lot of them chatting. If you guys can see the chat box down below, if you're on mobile, I know some people have a hard time finding it nowadays, but if you're on mobile, scroll all the way down to the very bottom, and there should be a little bar that says chat box or something with the chat, and you tap that and it opens up, and then you can chat with us. Bacardi Wepa. I think that's what he means. It's for iOS and Android. Nice. I use Android. I'm not a big iOS user, although I do love Apple and some things. When it comes to editing, and I don't use, I use a Windows computer, but I would like to have one of those new Macs, and 5K Macs, and awesome. But yeah, I mean, Apple's got great stuff for certain things, but when it comes to my cell phone, actually, I was a Windows fan Windows Phone. And I know you guys probably laugh at me. There's not a lot of us out there, but I really like the simplicity of using a Windows Phone. And I was very late to the game switching to Android when Windows Phone finally just fell. I was actually a Zune user. Microsoft is actually the name of it. It was a Microsoft Zune. You guys remember those? It was like an iPod. Leanne's here. She says, "Hey Matt, what's up, Leanne? Hope all is well with you." Puerto Rican rum bro hot, rub bro hot. The only Uriah Sky says the only good thing Apple made was an iPad. Excuse me, I'm burping because I'm drinking this drink. iPad and MacBook. Yeah, I like. And then he says, "Got to go." Hey, it was nice chatting with you for a minute, and I appreciate you popping in with us. But yeah, I like the MacBooks a lot, but those 5K iMacs are amazing. I can't say that, you know, those are the only good things in my opinion. I do use an iPad for work, but that's not my decision. They just, you know, give me one to use. But I like Apple for things, but not for my cell phone. And really not for my computer. If I could afford a 5K Mac, I'd do it, but I can't. And so you can get a gaming PC for really cheap these days. And a gaming PC is really what you need for editing. I mean, there's very minor differences between an editing computer and a gaming PC, because there's a lot of things that the gamers want as far as speed and processing power that you also, and video card, that you want for editing. And so there's a lot of similarities. You get that, you tweak it a little bit yourself, and you've got a great editing machine. Mine's pretty fast. I got to admit, I got it a couple years ago, but I've done some upgrades to it, and I edit 4K on Premiere Pro with no problems. I can't say no problems. If I'm editing 1080, there's absolutely, it's flawless even in the preview. 4K, sometimes I have to wait a second when I pull the thing in the timeline, or it'll glitch a little bit. But once I just wait a second and let it render out on its own without actually rendering into out, I don't actually do that. I don't need to. It plays pretty good. Josh Carey's here, says, "What's up? What's up? What's up?" Literally, there's that many U's. Big Matt, Bacardi is Puerto Rican rum, bro. Hot stuff. Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't realize it was from Puerto Rico. I knew it was from somewhere in the Caribbean, though. That's what the rum's all about. And I love the Caribbean, and I love rum, and I love fruity tropical drinks. So Bacardi's usually right up my alley. I don't always drink Bacardi, though. I like a lot of different rums. But yeah. Josh Carey says, "Ha ha 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 ha." Or is it more like mwah ha ha ha? He's got a sinister laugh. But yeah, we're just chilling tonight. Ain't a lot going on. Usually I got some news to share with you guys, things going on, but it's been a regular old week. I'm kind of bummed about summer coming to an end pretty soon. You can smell it in the air once in a while, especially at night or in the early mornings when the temperature drops a little bit, and you can just smell fall in the air. You know what I mean? It's like, it isn't just a little chillier. It's actually like a feeling you get when, and I've actually seen some leaves changing colors. I actually was at a McDonald's drive-through the other day, and they had some trees, pretty big trees. They weren't like the landscaping in the lot. It was like along it was like by a highway, and there was a big wooded area by the exit. Anyway, I can see a few of those trees had like 10 yellow leaves all clustered together right in the middle of the tree, like it was just starting to turn. I don't like seeing that. Yes, sir, right there. I am so ready for fall. I like fall, and I know a lot of people love it, but one thing I don't like about fall is it pretty much is signifying the end of summer, and I love summer more. I love summer. That's my favorite time of year, getting out in the hot sunshine and doing stuff and wearing cool clothes, and I mean cool wise, you know, shorts and t-shirts and things like that, not having to bundle up. Just, I don't know, something about it. I like summertime. I could deal with summertime year round. But I do like fall. I do like bonfires, and I don't particularly love the sun staying out so late in the middle of the summer. So when fall comes and sun starts going down a little earlier, and you can have bonfires, it's not 12 o'clock at night before it really is dark enough to set a fire. You know, you can do it at, 8 or 9 o'clock because it's pitch black by then. I do like that. I do like fall. There's a lot of things I love. I love Halloween seasons. I don't know about you guys, but Halloween is fun. And fall is a pretty good time of year. Hey, sorry, Big Matt. I have to get get out. The weather here in Florida is going crazy, bro. Later. Hey, thanks, TJ, for stopping by. I appreciate it, dude. Take it easy. I know how the weather is there. Usually it's about this time of day where you get a storm rolling through. You know, and it's almost every day, at least in my experience. And when you're in Florida, almost every day, almost, you get a storm roll through in the evening. And it's not even like usually very long. It's usually, it rains for an hour and it's gone. But it's just crazy to me. It's called the Sunshine State, and there's rain every day almost. Josh says, I love the summer too, mainly because I was born in the first official day of the summer, June 21st. Nice. Very cool. And you got a birthday, like my dad has, June 18th is my dad's. It's right there by Father's Day. So you get to double up. Your kids get to double up. You know, hey, this is for Father's Day and your birthday, but it's only one gift. Mine's right by Christmas, so I've got that my whole life. Like, this is, you know, I have a bunch of brothers, and it'd be like, here's for you, and here's for you, and here's for you, and then they get to me, and they'd be like, and you get the same thing they got, but this is for your birthday too. Like, well, how is it? It's not even better than theirs. Ever since last week's vid, I've been waiting for the next great vids from an awesome dude. You talking about me? Because he says, have you been using the drone? Leanne says, have you been using the drone? In 1981, I was born on F Day. F Day? Is that what that is? Oh, Father's Day. Okay. I was born in 1981 as well. That's awesome. Same age, pretty much. But yeah, I haven't been using the drone much. I got a gig coming up next week, a wedding, and so I will probably use the drone for the reception, even though they're not hiring me to do that. It's just something a little extra I want to do. I don't have my commercial license, so I'm not charging them for that. I'm not allowed to do that. But for fun, I'm going to fly it and may include some video for them from that. Yes, sir. I'm talking about you, LOL. Hey, you know what? I might go. I can't promise this because I'm still working on what I'm going to do with the kids and things like that. My wife will be working, and I got kids. But on Sunday, there's an event here that I signed up for, and so did my wife, but now she can't go. And it's Yelp. You know, I'm sure you guys know what Yelp is. Where you review restaurants and things on Yelp. They're holding an event here in downtown Indianapolis on the canal, and they're going to be giving out inner tubes, and they're going to have people lazy river in it on the canal, which I've never seen. You can rent like pedal boats in the canal, and sometimes they'll have like the big boats with the guy, you know, like the Italian guy steering the big, forget what you call that thing. It'll come to me in a second. But yeah, they're going to be giving out inner tubes for people to actually get in the water, and they're going to have vendors there giving away free alcohol. It's an adult only thing, and people are going to be getting gondola. That's it. Yeah, you can get a gondola sometimes down there, but there's going to be people actually getting in the water and drinking, and I thought that would be awesome to see all the inner tubes in the water and all the people having fun and partying on the canal. And so I want to go film it, and that's really why I signed up for it. Some of my brothers did too, but they only allowed like 1,000 people to come, and you had to get up at like 1 in the morning and sign up for it on Yelp and hope that you were one of the first thousands to get in. And so like a lot of my family got in, but their spouses didn't. So like they signed up 2 people, but you had to do it separately. And you know, they got the email back saying you're in to the wife, but not the husband, or the husband and not the wife. So a lot of my family's not going after all. Like a sandbar party. I can dig it. Yeah, it sounds like it. I've never seen anything like this on the canal. I'm interested to see what's going to end up being. Skylar Baldwin says, "Hey Matt, I'm living in Shelbyville and also went to the biology pond." Wow. Did you watch my video or something? Did I talk about the biology pond? I think I did talk about the biology pond in that Shelbyville video I did. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I remember. I don't remember if I told the story about what's up, dude? What do you want?
Hi.
Here's Gabe. This is my nephew Gabe, and he's hanging out for the day, and all the kids are in there watching TV and stuff. But he loves YouTube, so of course he couldn't stay out. He knew I was live streaming on YouTube in here. Little YouTube lover right there. That's Game Boy Gabe, right?
On YouTube.
On YouTube, Game Boy Gabe.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys, go subscribe to Game Boy Gabe.
Even though I only have 9 subscribers, that's I have to say because my teacher's about to.
Yeah, you're about to have more than that. Everybody here, he says he only has 9 subscribers. So if you guys could show some love to my nephew and go subscribe to Game Boy Gabe.
And me, I only have 11.
Yeah, but you don't really YouTube much anymore.
So neither does he.
But I try to get you to, Luria. If you want to make a vlog every day, I will help you post it every day. You just get the camera out and you go make yourself a video, and I'll help you edit it. She started learning how to use Premiere Pro because I thought if I get her started now, by the time she's in college, she'll be a pro at it already. There's people that take classes for it, and I've learned it pretty well myself that I can teach her a lot of the beginner stuff really easily. And so she started it, and she edited one video together herself and did really good, but then she just kind of gave up. She's on Musical.ly all the time and stuff.
Yeah, follow me on.
Nobody on here knows about Musical.ly. They're not on there. They can't follow you.
So I'm going to tell you my username anyway. Luria_Angel with no capital letters and no spaces. Okay? Peace. Out, homie.
So yeah, hey, thanks Josh for going to subscribing to him. I'm pretty sure I am, but I'm not 100% because I don't remember that name. I remember him telling me that name recently, but I think he might have changed it and I'm subscribed to what his name was before, or he might have a whole new channel. I don't know. I guess I need to go subscribe to Game Boy Gabe too and show him some love. He's getting into it more and he's a big gamer, so I think he's gonna be a YouTube gamer. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Skylar. You guys are great. He's gonna be so happy. He's a cool little guy. My brother's got a great video on his channel, and I may ask him for permission to post it on mine because I filmed it here. I was watching little Gabe, my nephew, babysitting him one day when he was, I don't know, it was a couple years ago, and he hadn't lost any teeth yet. He had a loose tooth and hadn't lost any teeth, and all the kids were in there playing, and basically he lost his tooth. One of the kids pulled a wire out of his mouth or something and pulled his tooth out, and he lost his first tooth here, and he freaked out because he was not prepared for losing his first tooth. He just, I don't know, what in his mind it was a bad thing. It was like he lost it, and he's crying and he's freaking out. He doesn't want to look in the mirror. He's like, I don't want to look. I don't want to look. It's cute as hell, and I filmed it and gave it to my brother, and he posted it, and it's gotten quite a few views. It's a really popular video because it's adorable. But does he realize that a Game Boy is actually a system that does, or does he just think it's a name? We actually talked to him about this, and he had a pretty good idea of what a Game Boy was, but he was way off. I mean, it was like, you know, he really doesn't know what a Game Boy is, but he knows that you could play games on it. It was some old thing that you could play games on. He described it as something that was way off from what it was, I think, but he has an idea. But it's hilarious that kids these days have no idea what a Game Boy is. It's so weird. Mr. Mischief says, bring back Pranky X. Mr. Mischief is my cousin. And if you guys, I don't know if some of you guys may have never even heard of Pranky X and know what it is, but if you go back on my channel, you'll find it. There's actually maybe, I don't know, man, I may have taken it off, but there used to be a playlist on my main channel. Tech is way different now than then, yeah, for sure. And Leanne says she is too cute. Thank you so much. That's my baby girl. I've got 3 daughters, and they're all my baby girls. I was just showing my oldest today. My oldest left with my wife, so she's not here now. If I can find it, before she left, nope, I think I put it under here. Before she left, I showed her this note I found. I was going through a bunch of old storage stuff and getting rid of some things, and I found this old note from her, and it's basically a handwritten note from when she was like 6, and it's cute, but it's basically made me feel bad because it was like I hadn't taken her to the park or anything in a little while. It had been a couple weeks since I'd done much with her, and she was like, "Dear Daddy, remember we used to play together? Well, a wish do come true, and my wish is to play with you again. Love, Dakota. Sorry, the paper is small." So there's her little note. She's 18 now, so I thought it was cute as hell to show her this. I'm gonna keep that. And of course she gives me that, and immediately I'm like, let's play a game or go to the park or something. Yeah, so Mr. Mischief says, hey Josh and all, who is your favorite YouTuber? Skylar says. I never finished explaining what Pranky X is, and I'll get back to that. But you got me thinking, who's my favorite YouTuber? I don't know. I would probably say somebody I know, like that you probably don't, like a non-famous YouTuber, because I got a lot of friends that I support that do really great stuff. But if you're talking about famous YouTubers. Probably the one I watch the most is Peter McKinnon. I don't know if you know who that is. He's a Canadian. He does amazing vlogs. He's like the Casey Neistat of Canada. But he talks about videography stuff a lot, and he's really good and real down to earth. I like Casey, but Peter McKinnon is way more down to earth. Seems like he would be a guy like Casey. Seems like if you ever met the guy, he's like a celebrity, and you don't want to bug him. Peter McKinnon seems like a guy that would probably bug you and be like, "Let's have a drink," you know. He just seems really cool. Josh says, when we moved, I found a bunch of those. Haha, emotional from her dad's death just weeks before, and finding them notes kept jerking out our heartstrings. Wow. Her dad's death, meaning my wife's dad. Yeah. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that, man. And that's rough, but I get it, you know. You get them old things that bring back memories. It's bittersweet, you know. It's rough, but it's sweet to have and sweet to hold on to. But yeah, Pranky X was a series of prank videos that we did. I didn't star in them, and I don't think you've ever seen me in any of the videos, but I filmed them all and I produced them all and I edited it all together and set them all up. Usually I'd go pick up my brother and my little cousin. Sometimes my other brothers would help out and other people would help out with them, setting them up and things. But my brother and my cousin, Aaron and Wes, they were the stars of them, and they're both clowns, so it was perfect. And we tried to come up with pranks that nobody else had done, just crazy stuff. One of them, one of my brothers played a blind guy that tried to get people to help him downtown, and they have a bike rental. You can rent bikes, just, you know, you put money in a thing and your bike unlocks, so you can take it anywhere downtown and bring it back. And we got people to help him rent a bicycle blind, and then watched him get on it blind and ride off with his stick in front of the bike. It's hilarious. There was other ones that we did what we called the Maury prank, where we made up fake paternity tests like they would have on Maury when they do, you know, who's the daddy, you are the father, and but they were fake, but they read just like the Maury show. You know, when it comes to, you know, blah blah blah, you know, 8-year-old whatever, you are not the father, or you are the father. We'd make up a bunch of fake ones, but we put crazy names in them and crazy ages and just made them real wild and got people to read them. You'd have my brother and my cousin go sit at a bus stop, and when somebody come up, they'd get them to, hey, I got my paternity test for my kid, but I'm not sure. I'm scared to read. I'm not sure if it's my kid. I'm scared to open it. Will you read it to me? And get them to read this insane paternity test that looked official. It really, they looked good, but they would say something like, you know, when it comes to little baby Tupac Shakur, like they named their baby Tupac. Or one of them, you see, my brother and my cousin were both, you know, one of them was 16, my cousin was, and my brother was early 20s. And it would be like, when it comes to 42-year-old Rakisha, you know, and they're like, what? How the hell are you the father of a? But it was funny. Pixie Channel says, how are we tonight? Hey, doing great, Pixie. I'm glad you popped in and said hi to us. Yeah, it's still daytime. I got some light shining on me from the window because the sun's still high in the sky here, but I know out there it's what, 10:30, 10:23, something like that. Yeah, Mr. Mischief is quoting, basically quoting one of the Pranky Act videos where he did the blind guy prank. It's called the blind as a bat prank is what we called it. But he got people to help him rent a bike, and some guy was scared to let him go. Most people didn't care and was like, go, have fun, blind guy riding a bike. But one guy didn't want to let him go, and he's like, you know, take me to the sidewalk. And he's like, what? And he's like, take me to where cars don't go. It's so funny. And they're all improvising it and just making up as it goes. So that what made it more hilarious, at least to us that know my brother and my cousin, know they were just coming up with this off the top of their head and they were clowns. It's funny. Eagle VP is here, says hi all. Hey Keith, good to see you, man. Pixie Channel says Keith. Lots of H's. Josh Carey, how are you? And sub you guys. Hey, thanks, man. Pixie, you're awesome. Pixie said that. Josh Carey says, well, homie, run into the fam to Applebee's. Good time, bro. You keep up on tune to this dude. He is awesome people and does amazing videos. Dude, Josh, I appreciate the compliments, man. You're a good dude. Guys, go subscribe to Josh Carey, by the way. Still a pretty new YouTuber, so he needs some support. Show him the YouTube love. Yeah, Pixie says, how's you, bud? And Eagle says, hi, Chris. So they're chatting it up. Good to see you guys are in here together. We're good friends, I think, from YouTube buddies from the UK, from across the pond. I'm always happy to see you guys come in here. Okay, we've been seeing the grandson today. Oh, is it a baby? Is it a tiny baby? I mean, I'm imagining Eagle VP's grandson is probably older than me still. Hey, I didn't put this in here, but I should. If anybody wants to join in the live stream, I'm not going too late, guys. Just to warn you guys, I'm going to go till about 6 o'clock, and I'm going to end it. We still got about 35 minutes. I'll go, but I'm going to spend time with the kids. I got a niece and a nephew over here, and both my daughters, my young ones, over here today, and so I wanted to hang out with them a little bit and give them some attention, much needed attention. Got back from holiday yesterday and still recovering. Okay, been to see the grand. Okay, I already read that one. Sorry. But yeah, it's been a pretty good week. It's been very busy at work, so I haven't been doing too many videos. Like I said, I may go down and film the Yelp event this weekend. You probably won't see me too much other than maybe an intro and an outro. And usually I try to film my family around me, but I don't think anybody's coming, so it's going to be a bunch of strangers. Nomad, he's 33, just broke his back 3 weeks ago, and he won't walk again. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh, man. That is scary stuff. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Man. You know, you say he won't walk again, but I believe in miracles, and I believe that there's always new stuff coming along, and, you know, maybe he will. I mean, I hope. That's sad. I would hate to, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. I mean, I want to say I would hate to be in that situation, but I don't know. I might just lose it. Hey, looky there. It's Pixie's channel.
Hey.
What's up, buddy? How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, I've just got back off holiday or / vacation.
Yeah. Did you do anything fun?
Oh, yeah. Posted a couple of videos. The water zorbing. I don't know if you know what they are.
Everybody go check that out. You said you posted a couple of videos already?
Yeah, the 4 videos altogether, but the 2 water zorbing ones was really like in a big plastic bubble that's filled up the air and trying to walk on water. Virtually impossible. I'm telling you, you're near enough falling on your back than you are standing up, mate. It's absolutely, oh, mate.
And I bet you recover it still then. And look, we've got Mr. Mischief here. That's my cuz right there. If anybody doesn't know, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hi,
doing
mate.
Pretty good. Just got off work.
Did you? I like them shades, man. That black and white American flag.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you guys think of all this? Have you guys been hearing about all these statues that have been getting torn down in the United States?
Yeah, there's I forget what it's all about, but I have seen something on the news about it.
It's anything that has to do with the Confederacy or the South before the Civil War, which fought in the Civil War for the rights to have slaves. So basically, there were a lot of slave owners or a lot of people that fought for, you know, on the side of slavery before it was abolished here. And so a lot of people are upset about it and don't think we should be, you know, worshiping these guys that, you know, fought on the wrong side. And so we have one here, actually. We've got a, it's been in the news today where they've got one at Garfield Park, which is on the south side of Indianapolis. It's a big statue commemorating Confederate soldiers, which is weird. I didn't know it was here. And it's really weird because we're in the North, and we fought on the side of the North. We were on the Union side against slavery. And so for us to have a Confederate monument here was weird to me because we fought against it. We actually had a couple battles here, at least one big one that a lot of people don't know about. But in southern Indiana, there was a major Civil War battle, and there weren't too many soldiers here on the Union side. I guess a lot of people here didn't sign up to fight at all. But the ones that did were on the Union side. We had Union soldiers here, and so they had to stand their ground and fight some Confederate soldiers here. Maybe it has something to do with that because a lot of Confederates lost their lives here. But you know, they were the enemy for us. So I don't know why we have a monument for them.
Yeah, that's got to be a bit weird though. Fight Americans fighting Americans, don't it? I don't know how to explain it. I could imagine fighting somebody from the UK who's actually from the UK, but I suppose
Well, I think it's a lot different. I think because it was such a different time. I mean, America really wasn't established as one place. You had people from the UK, you had people from Italy, you had people from all over coming here and settling and trying to figure out, are these all going to be different countries? They call them colonies back then, but are they going to be, are we going to be states of one giant union, which was what it ended up becoming? But back then, I don't think they knew that. And so, you had the Louisiana Purchase, and you had Texas that was purchased from Mexico in some kind of deal. Texas was Mexico back then, and so America was still not a full country itself. And so for it to fight itself probably made sense back then. I can imagine.
Yeah,
who's going to rule all this? Is it going to be the slave owners, or is it going to be the union that is against slavery? And that's what it came down to. And luckily, the right side won, if you ask me.
Yeah, it sounds about right though, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. Let's hear it.
I was just gonna say, I mean, we've been talking about that at work and stuff, and I try not to bring this stuff up, like as far as politics at work and things, but I think the statues are due to come down because America is great, always has been great, but we have a terrible, ugly history past, and we really need to do something to get that behind us. And if you put up statues, you're pretty much idolizing what used to be when we're trying to get away from it. Racism is here every single day, and we're supposed to be the land of the free, but we're still so divided in the United States. It's ridiculous.
I agree, but I see both sides. Hold on, I want to acknowledge Simple Joys is here. Grant from Simple Joys, good guy from Australia, and he says, "I finally caught you, Matt." I know it's like, dude, it's the other side of the world, so it's hard to get our time zones. We usually comment on each other's videos and see it later because it's the middle of the night usually, and I think it's even winter time right now in Australia. It's middle of winter, so I appreciate you catching one, dude. It's good to see you. And I put a link in there if you want to join in with us, Grant. You can go ahead and click on that, and it'll bring you into the video if you want. But yeah, I do see both sides of the statue thing too, because here's what I'm scared of. I agree with you that we shouldn't have these monuments up for we should have monuments up for the guys that were on the right side of the fight. You know what I mean? All through history, not just for the Civil War. Because we know that there were some Americans that were wrong, that their whole philosophy was wrong, and we don't even acknowledge, their ideas now because they're so old and ignorant, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Anyway,
good word.
But here's the thing that scares me about tearing them down is I think the people that are smarter than the average citizen are going to use people's divisions, like you were saying. We're still pretty divided. There's still racism. There's still a lot of people out there that doesn't want those statues to come down, and they're going to use that against us. And here's what I'm afraid is going to happen. If today I started seeing stuff about George Washington. All right, now it's one thing when you have Confederate soldiers, coming down. Now they want there's a park that's named after George Washington in a black neighborhood that they want to rename because George Washington, I think he was a slave owner.
Right.
And so they don't want they don't want to worship our forefathers at all. Okay. And that scares me. And not because I agree with anything they believed in, but other than the Constitution. And the Constitution that gives us our freedoms. Because if anybody who's in power wants to take away freedom, they have to get rid of that Constitution. Because all these things they try to change, it comes back into court and say, no, unconstitutional. You can't enforce this on these people. People are free in this country. It's unconstitutional to enforce your ideas on them. And free speech, the right to have guns, all those things are upheld by the Constitution. And if they start criticizing the forefathers and saying we need to stop worshiping these forefathers, we need to stop worrying about what they thought, the next thing to go is what they wrote, which is the Constitution. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a slippery slope.
and that's what kills me is because, you know, they're going to sit there and say, oh, well, let's change the name of Washington Park for the fact that he owned slaves. Okay, well, a lot of people back then did own slaves. It's no more. And I'm sorry, but just short of, you know, him doing the whole slavery thing, Washington did a lot of good stuff. And like you said, I mean, if it wasn't for that Constitution, we would all pretty much be in the same situation it was, you know, that long ago.
Yeah, we'd all be slaves to Pixie Channel and his queen.
I'm just saying if they're gonna change the name of Washington Park and it's all about like the slavery thing, then let's go ahead and name it Lincoln Park and let's just rock it out.
Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park, like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm fine with renaming the park. You know what I mean? If you don't want to have anything to do with slave owners, that's fine, you know?
Right.
But I'm scared of where it's going to lead and what could happen next. Not what's happening now. Because I take the statues down. We shouldn't be. I don't want a monument up huge in my city of somebody who was a slave owner. You know what I mean? That's, I don't know.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. What is it?
It's only the same like with World War II and Germany and everything. I would want a statue as Adolf Hitler.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's all the exact same thing, isn't it?
Exact same thing. I mean, or any other Nazi. Because of their ideas were wrong. Because their ideas,
exactly.
you know, marginalized people. And there's still people out there that agree with those ideas and grasp onto those things. You know what I mean? Get rid of it all, you know, because it's ignorant. So I get it. But, you know, maybe Germany could I wonder if Germany has any monuments at all. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's their history.
They probably have done. Probably got some somewhere knocking about, haven't they?
Yeah, something. At least something commemorating people that died, including soldiers that fought on the Nazi side, you know?
I mean, we've got memorials all over the shop. The names of all the soldiers that died from that region.
Right.
Like Sheffield, where I'm from.
Right.
Not some. Let's call it peace.
And that's what we have too, and that's what's stirring up trouble with those monuments to some of the people that died in the Civil War, that fought for the South. But you know what? I bet if you went back, I bet if we lived during the Civil War, we would probably realize that it wasn't all about slavery. You know what I mean? That may have been one of the issues on the table. But if you lived back then and were reading the paper, it wouldn't be one side's for slavery, one side's for not, let's go to war. That's not that black and white. There were a lot of other issues on the line. And I think, you know, in defense of the, you know, at risk of getting some backlash for this, you know, in the defense of maybe the Confederate side is a lot of it may have just been, we don't want the government telling us if we can have slaves or not. You know, even if I don't want slaves and I don't believe in slavery, I just don't want government control. And I totally understand that because I believe that now. You know what I mean? It's like I don't agree with a lot of things people do, but I will fight on your side if it means against the government taking away your rights. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely, agree 100% on that one.
And Simple Joy says, I'm not usually up this early, but I am, and it's winter there. He says. You gotta go, guys. Catch you all again. Thank you, Keith. I really appreciate you.
See you, Keith, mate.
Showing us some love. Man, good luck to your grandson. I'm praying for you, man, because that's terrible, man. It's sad.
His son's grandson's actually in the hospital where I live.
Really?
Keith lives in forget where it is now. A seaside resort. Cleethorpes, that's it.
Yeah, Cleethorpes is where Keith's at. Yeah. I don't know if you caught any of that earlier, Mr. Mischief, but Keith says his grandson broke his back and will never walk again. And that's scary. What are you doing, Jeff?
I'm terribly thankful for
that. So the Simple Joy says, or leave them and train the pigeons to shit on the face, especially. Yeah, okay, he's talking about the statues. Okay, I was confused.
Oh, right.
Well, you know, they've been. Yeah, if they would just remove them, and I think that's what's going to happen here. The council that runs the parks is having a meeting, and are going to just remove the Confederate monument we have in a park here before it causes an uproar, which makes sense. Do it before people are out there rioting and tearing down the thing. You know what making things worse is our president is a moron. Oh my
Putting
God.
it politely.
I'm not a Trump hater. I'm not a Trump hater at all. I used to hate Trump back when he had a TV show. I couldn't stand the guy. When it comes to being a president, I wasn't totally against it. I'm not Republican and I'm not Democrat, and I did not like Hillary Clinton either. I don't think either of them were qualified to run our country. But I wasn't totally opposed to Donald Trump's all his ideas, because I think I do agree with some of his ideas. But as a person, the guy is not that bright. We've got another George W. Bush. Remember him?
W.
Bumbling.
At least Bush were a bit better. Come on. At least he didn't want to build a wall to come over in Mexico or something like that.
Right.
I mean, Jesus.
Well, I don't know, man. I can't say I'm totally against the wall. But I see both sides on that. So, but I do agree that we do have a Mexican immigrant problem in our country, and
An immigrant problem in general, not just Mexicans. Let's not be prejudiced and just grab one group. I mean, I don't care if you're Burmese or Mexican. I don't care if you're Irish. I mean, come on, look at me. I don't care if you come over here illegally from wherever you're at.
None of those other ones are a major problem. Like there's going to be a certain amount of illegals that are going to get in, period. Right? And you just have to deal with that. Every country probably deals with that and probably always will. But it becomes a crisis when there's millions of one country just getting in with no problem. And that's what's happened. I mean, we're talking probably, I think the latest numbers I heard was over 20 million illegal Mexicans in our country.
Yeah, not paying taxes, raising our health care for ourselves.
What they should do with these immigrants that are coming over is, because we get free healthcare and everything like that, right? So what they should do is, well, we have to pay national insurance, which goes towards us healthcare. That comes out as wages every month. So in my eyes, what they should do is they can pay into the system for 5 years, and then they can get free healthcare. Not just come in, walk in, get the benefits all they want, like free rent, free council tax, all that lot. They get all that lot paid for. And they need to pay for everything first, and then they can get what we get. Make them earn it, not handouts.
I don't even get any handout, and I'm from here. I technically make too much money to get free insurance, but my insurance out of my check every week absolutely kills me. And there for a while, even if I didn't have insurance when I did my taxes every year, I would get penalized financially for not paying insurance.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, for me, if I stop working, I mean, I work 45 hours a week. If I stop working, I probably still have to pay some of my rent. But these immigrants that are coming over, if they don't work, they get everything paid for, every single cent. And the place where I work at, start again, a particular place in Sheffield where I live, they get a starter kit for the home. You know, knives, forks, plates, pots, pans, basic furniture. When I left home, I had nothing. Everything I've got in this house is what I've worked for. Why can't they do the same? I don't mind them coming over here, but they've got to earn the right to, to get the free healthcare and everything.
A lot of times what happens here is, in my experience, a lot of the legal Mexicans that come over do work, and they work hard. They work harder than us because they never could have the opportunity to have a great job, and they're going to bust their butt to get it. A lot of them are good people that do work hard. But here's the problem. They're illegal, and so they either have somebody else's Social Security card. Sometimes 50 of them will share one Social Security card, and they're all the same person working at different places. And then they use their real identity, which shouldn't be here legally anyway, to go get welfare as well. And so they are making more than I make, working their butts off and working 80 hours a week, and earning that money, but making great money doing it, and living off the government as well.
And what they're doing, and what kills me about it is they do make good money. They are living 2, 3, 4 families deep in one apartment, sharing one car with no driver's license, no insurance, can't hardly ever even read the road signs. and then they take their check, and because they're 4 families deep in one, they can take, you know, more than half of their check, Western Union it out of the states to get more of them in to keep abusing the system. And that brings the value of our dollar down, and everybody wonders why we're in such a recession.
Real quick though, that this is not all of them, but this is what we see happen a lot. It does happen a lot. But you know, there's really popular places in the city that if you need to hire somebody for cheap labor, cheaper than paying your tax, doing it under the table illegally, you know,
you go to Home Depot and pick them up from the front.
Right, or there's a couple of spots I know about that you just pull up to, and there's a giant crowd of them ready to work for you illegally, and every one of them is Hispanic, and it's a crisis, it's a problem, and I wouldn't totally be against legalizing all of those people if you could cut off the bleed, you know, if you stop the bleeding, cut off the flow of them coming in, and it's crazy to me, but you know, I'm convinced that when Obama was president, the gates were left open, and that's what led to Trump becoming president by saying we're going to build a wall, and all these people said we're voting for that guy. Even if you were like me, which I did not vote for Trump, I did vote, but I did not vote for Trump. I voted for somebody who did not win, a third party who didn't have a chance. But there are people like me though that did agree with some of what he said because they experienced the problem he's talking about, where, you know, it's like, hey, you know, the last administration left like literally they put cameras up. Literally, you can go to some underground news sites and they put a camera up on the border where the border guards, who were only 2 guys for every 10,000 miles, they were all laid off and fired anyway. They got the you know, to save some money in the government, they just basically stopped patrolling the borders, and they would unlock the gates where a lot of them would sneak into the country and leave them open. Like they were trying to create a crisis for whatever agenda, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate, but it happened. It happened in the last 8 years of Obama. Millions and millions of illegal immigrants came right in, and I don't blame them. If I lived in a country as crappy as Mexico, where it was hard to have a living, hard to support your family, and hard to make a life, I would be trying to get somewhere else too. And if the easiest way is, hey, they left the gate open, shit, I'm going in the gate. You know?
Yeah, but would you not try to do it the right way? That way, for your kids to have to go through that same thing, the next generation,
Probably
then we're
not.
just going to end up exactly like their native land anyways, because they're bringing it right back to where they're coming from. They're making it harder for everybody.
But they don't know that, or even if they do, they don't care. What they're hearing from their everybody is people that have already snuck in that are like, it's great, come on in. The insurance, you know, all the jobs, come on in. It's great.
As an immigrant, you can come over here and start your own business and not pay taxes for the first 5 years.
Because you're an immigrant. Yeah.
I can't. I own my own business, and it makes zero profit just because I'm young and nobody really wants to give me a chance. But I've got to file my taxes every single month and claim zero. But even if I did one job by myself and had no overhead, I would still have to claim those taxes.
Yep. No, but here's my stance on it, though. I agree with you, but it's not about what's fair, because if it was about what's fair, it isn't really fair that I got lucky and was born in this country, and they got lucky and was born on the wrong dirt, you know. But it is about trying to survive for all of us. You know what I mean? If it's going to become a crisis to the point where the country is in trouble, then you have nowhere to run to anymore. You know, there's no reason to sneak over here no more because we ruined this one. We're going to be as bad as Mexico soon. And I don't think that'll happen, but it's a possibility. If we didn't do nothing about this immigrant problem, we would be in trouble. It's getting scary. It's to the point now where, you know, maybe not a majority, but a large portion of the population in every major city is illegally there. You know what I mean? That's a problem. That's a big, big problem, because you don't know how many. I mean, if you're talking about legal people, you know, it makes it hard for law enforcement when they have a crime, because these people don't even have identities. You don't have a history or something.
Yeah, and we have no idea what their history is, where they come from. They may have fled. They may have fled, you know, horrible acts to come over here and start a new life. And you're just as dangerous as half the people in prison serving life terms, but you don't speak no English, and you're under the radar, So as long as I don't get caught or don't do it again, then none of that ever existed.
Yeah,
Still
that
doesn't
gets
make
me.
you a good person.
Don't speak English.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Conveniently forget.
I've
Yeah.
dealt with it myself.
No comprende, Holmes.
Yeah. That's bad, isn't it? Eh?
Yeah, I used to work in, and I know Mr. Mischief has done as well, has worked in the construction field, and that's where you'll meet a lot of them, you know, that are doing construction work, landscaping work, any kind of contractor stuff where you can slip by without proving who you are, basically. But you know, I'm not against all of it. I bet there's a lot of good families that snuck over here for a better life. They don't want the criminals either. You know what I mean? But they can't control it as much as we can control it because it's just an illegal pipeline coming in. You can't control what, you know.
And even as you were saying, you know, as far as like the whole Civil War thing that even happened as far north as Indiana, we have a major Hispanic gang issue right now that's on the news quite often. And
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's like a drug cartel, and what they do, they're literally cutting people's heads off.
Yeah, we live. I don't know if you know this, Pixie, but we live very far from the border. You know, we're more in the mid-east, northeast of the United States, and but they're everywhere. It doesn't matter anymore. They don't want to come in and just stay right in San Antonio.
Got to branch out, don't they?
That's how it used to be. It used to be the Hispanic populations were all in Southern California and Texas and Oklahoma and you know, New Mexico.
Don't forget about the Cubans coming over in Miami. They flooded those gates.
Yeah. There's still a large Cuban population in Miami, but
But like you said, I'm sure there are a lot of good people out there that are trying to do the right thing, but it's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
because everybody can do it.
Yeah, and
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's another big problem for me is think about all the people that let's say there's a Mexican that wants to come here legally, fills out his paperwork, you know, gets in line to become a citizen of the United States for a better life, and it takes years, and you know how it goes for somebody to
earned his way.
Yeah, earned his way. What if he did all that and he's watching as this is happening? As he's watching as people are just walking on in, cutting him right in line. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
it is ultimately making it harder for him to do that.
Right. It's not fair for the people that do want to do the right thing and come here legally when you've got you're just watching all these people just cut right past you, just, you know, and this, what it comes down to for me is the politically correct left, you know, the Obamas, the Obama supporters. And I'm not trying to bash Obama himself. I'm not trying to pick sides, but there's a lot of people that lean that way that are so politically correct and do not want to offend and want to give everybody every opportunity in the world that they, you know, it's racist. They say they believe it's racist and it's marginalizing a population to do anything about the problem, just to even address the immigrant situation. You know, it's crazy. And you know, well, here's another thing that scares me. Speaking of that, is how many North Koreans or Al Qaeda members could sneak in, or ISIS members could sneak in the United States through Mexico.
Oh, we've got loads of them. Loads of them.
Oh, I bet you do. I bet you've got loads of them in the UK because it's easy to get in over there from where they're at. But
well, that's it. We've got like 3,000 known terror suspects. But if the 3,000 known terror suspects by the police ship them all up and the families, off you go. But they can't because it's going to be called a racist card, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. It's probably the same problem you have that we have here too. Is there's so many politically correct people that say racist, and I'm not even talking about the terrorists. I'm talking about our own people that are like, no, you can't do that to them, because you know they all have a similar faith that you're discriminating against. Like, no, I'm discriminating against people who want to kill me.
Exactly. But it's like if I went to attack I don't know, a coloured lad, a black lad, I don't know what you call them. Somebody who's not a different colour to me. If I went to attack them, they get me done for racial hatred. You know what I mean? But if they did that to me, would they get the same treatment back? You know what I mean? As I would if I did it to them.
Right, definitely the same way.
Fine line, isn't it?
Definitely, and it's almost like they have. They've said, you know what? You've got white privilege for so long that now you're going to be the one discriminated against. You cannot. You know what I mean? Like if if another race says something to me about my race, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. You know, you can't say anything. It's only racist if a white person says it. Man, this live stream probably sounds real bad to some people.
Yeah, they're probably saying, "Wow, watch it here."
You're losing viewers by the comment, brother.
Yeah.
But it's really the way
100, you're out to 5.
it's really the way it is. It really is. You know, it's sad that we can't all. I mean, I hope people aren't taking this the wrong way, because I'm not a racist person at all, and I believe that everybody should have the opportunity to succeed, no matter what your background is or anything like that. I don't feel like because I was lucky enough to be born in this country that I have some more rights than somebody who wasn't lucky enough to be born here, or that I'm better than somebody, because I don't. I wish there was a way that we could make Mexico part of America and fix their problems. You know what I mean? If whatever we're doing here was working, and whatever you're doing down there as far as economy is not working, then let's do it together, and let's help your economy as well. You know what I mean? Because you know, I believe that all people deserve opportunities, no matter who you are. But you know, if I'm protecting my family and my livelihood, that doesn't mean I'm racist because you're not white. That's all I'm saying.
Because I mean, honestly, you can be white and still be just as bad as the rest of these people. It's not what you look like. It's not where you're from. It's how you come. It's good and it's evil. If you're coming over here to do bad, if it makes me a racist because you're not the same color as I am and I'm mad at you over that, I'm sorry, so be it.
It's like, I don't mind immigrants coming over here, but like I said before, doing it the right way and working and earning and paying into the system. Not just sitting back on your bottoms, not doing anything, and just gimme, and not giving anything back. That's what gets me mad. But there is a lot of guys over here that do it the right way. But then again, there's a lot of them that don't do it the right way. And it's them that I'm mad at. Not for being different colour, like you say, just for not doing what they should be doing.
All right, guys, well, I hate to cut this short, but I've got things to do, so I am signing off.
All right.
Nice to see you, Keith.
See you later, buddy.
Thanks for joining us, buddy.
No problem. Peace.
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 Yeah, Simple Joy says from this side of the world, for my circle at least, and more, or at least everyone I know, Obama was the only president for many years with half a brain and able to speak. And then he went on to say, basically the only one we haven't laughed at. And I agree with that. I did vote for Obama the first time, and I regret it because some of the decisions he's made is not good for our country. The Obamacare healthcare thing has really made my life hard, and just about everybody I know is struggling financially directly due to the Obamacare and the healthcare bill that he passed.
I thought Trump were getting rid of that or got rid of it.
It's not happened yet, and even if he decides, even if they basically what happened is he presented his plan, they shut it down. The Senate and the Congress, they have to vote for that kind of stuff. It's got to pass all three houses, I think, of legislation and stuff, and so it keeps getting shut down. The Republicans themselves came up with which is Trump's party. They've come up with another plan, and it got shut down. And it probably will be until. I don't know what's going to happen. They're deadlocked. I mean, I don't know how.
That was pretty cool, man. I was just talking to Matt. Could see him. He could see me. We were talking.
I can still hear you. You're still on the live stream, Mr. Mischief.
No, he's not.
He did this last week. He shut his phone down, but it still was live streaming. He was still in there.
That's weird, that is.
Yeah. I can probably just mute him until he figures it out. There we go. He's muted. I think. Can you mute him? Maybe.
I think if you hover over, there should be like an arrow.
Yeah, I did. I hit the mute button and it didn't.
Oh, there you go.
I just went ahead and hit eject on it and did it. No, but I do agree with Grant from Simple Joys. He says at least that was a compliment. Hey, Matt, we got without knowledge. LOL. Dude, but Obama was a really smart guy, and he had a lot of charisma, and he could speak. And I did not have a problem with him representing us because he wasn't a clown, you know, and he was a bright guy. I just didn't agree with his policies, you know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's like with Trump, when I'm watching it on telly, he's saying if South Korea, it's this, I forget what you call it now, that there's that army base that we're threatening to attack, and he says you're going to be in big trouble, and all this lot. I mean, if you're president, you don't say stuff like that. You say that, but you say it in a different way, don't you? You know what I mean? He just can't speak like you say, like Obama could. You know what I mean?
You know, sometimes I think that's his thing. He does it on purpose. Like he's well aware of what he's doing, and it's brought him success in business, and so he's bringing it to the White House, and that's kind of his thing. And I get it, but it's so stupid sometimes.
Yeah, it's just I'm not being funny, but it's just like watching the comedy when he's on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just so funny to, and he's going to start World War III. This guy here, you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's threatening to do that with South Korea. Obviously, he's going to defend. Is it Guam? Not Guam. What was that place that was threatening to?
Yeah, Guam.
Was it Guam? Oh yeah. Yeah, he's got to defend it, but he's not doing it around the right way, in my eyes, anyway.
Yeah, my verdict is still out on that. I haven't made an opinion on that because whatever Obama did, you know, with his smart talking and his intellectual thinking, it didn't work. And I think a lot of it was his inactive, you know, inactivity. He's basically not doing anything. He's talk, and you can talk as good as you want. North Korea, for some reason, ain't hearing it. You know what I mean? They're calling our bluff. And I'm pretty sure Trump's not bluffing. And so if he wants to act like a clown, if it shuts him up and makes him realize, hey, this guy, you know, we may not want to go to war, and I don't. You know, most of America probably has no interest in going to war with
No.
Especially if China somehow gets involved. That's scary. It's really scary. But at the same time, if it works, if it gets results, go ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Maybe what we needed was a clown to deal with a clown. You know?
Yeah. Because I don't think that other guy was in North Korea. Did I say Sam?
Yeah, it's North Korea.
North Korea. Yeah, he's probably just as bad as Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except for he gets to run it forever.
Yeah, nobody dare stand up against him. They'll get shot in the head.
Yeah, 3 years we get to kick out Trump if we can, and then you know the most he'll get is 8 years. Kim Jong-un, unless somebody kills him, and then even then he's probably got a family member who will take over if there's any of them alive still. Because I know he like killed an uncle. I guess. Do you hear about this? He killed an uncle and fed him to dogs.
No, he did he?
Yeah, Kim Jong-un had an uncle that was basically loyal to his father, and his father passed away, and this uncle had doubts that this kid could run the country, and expressed those doubts to his colleagues, saying, hey, we need to, you know, basically still be in charge, not let this kid have absolute power. And Kim Jong-un had him killed, his own uncle, and fed to dogs to show what happens if you go against the king.
Well, I suppose he doesn't have to buy any dog food then, does he? Jesus Christ, that's bad.
We get a lot of news about North Korea, as much as possible anyway, because they, you know, specifically call out the United States a lot and threaten us and stuff. So anything that happens over there, and then you know they got Dennis Rodman as our ambassador. You know about that?
No.
You know who Dennis Rodman is?
Actor?
No, he used to be a basketball player.
Basketball player. I knew it. Yeah.
He's the one that had the wild hair and all the.
Yeah, I've got him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's friends with Kim Jong-un. Somehow Kim Jong-un loves basketball, loves the NBA, and has invited Dennis Rodman over a few times to come hang out. And so Dennis Rodman has basically told our government, I'm not representing you. I'm not going to go over there and talk him into anything. He's my friend. Leave me alone.
I won't go anywhere near the guy.
No, but this Rodman apparently is comfortable with them. Apparently they get drunk together, and they had a birthday party recently for one of them. And it's weird.
Sorry, Matt. I'm gonna have to get off, mate.
Oh, it's fine. I'm gonna have to end this. I was telling everybody I was in at 6. It's a little after 6. I'm late.
Yeah, it's like 11:05 now. So.
Oh yeah. Hey, I
Yeah.
appreciate you popping in and talking with us for a little bit. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no worries, mate. We'll do it again next time, mate.
All right. So everybody who watched, Grant from Simple Joys, appreciate everybody. Go subscribe to Grant. Go subscribe to Pixie's channel. I appreciate everybody. We'll see you guys all next week in the next Friday Night Live. Peace.
Peace.